Hey gang, Melissa Hinault here with the Burnout to All Out podcast. I'm a mom of three, corporate burnout that built a secondary six-figure income around my 9 to 5 with little kids. This set me free and allowed me to fire my boss and pursue my wildest dreams. It took grit, persistence, and belief. But now operating multiple six-figure businesses as an online entrepreneur and business coach, I have become a serial entrepreneur with a passion to inspire more burnouts to take the leap and go all out and live out their dreams. Each week, I'll bring you inspiring all-out guests, lifestyle business tips and tools to empower you to take the leap from burnout employee to all-out entrepreneur, making your passion your paycheck. If this mom of three, corporate burnout, can go all out, so can you.
Are you looking for some organization to set freaking goals for 2021? Are you sliding into the new year with all these ideas, but no action plan? Guys, you've got to listen in and hit play. Here's the thing. Growth can be uncomfortable. When you're feeling uncomfortable and you're pushing and you're stretching yourself, when it gets hard, you need to have your game plan in front of you. You need to revisit what excites you about what you're doing. You've got to be reminded why you're doing what you're doing, but you also need a roadmap day by day, week by week, step by step with milestones to check in and address and assess, am I on target to crush my goals for 2021? Guys, if you want the what, the why, and the how for 2021, my magic formula that I have followed for the last over a decade, listen in, hit play. You're going to want to hit replay. And if you want the full disclosure, obviously you've got to join the academy. What I want you to hear from this podcast is it's actually a workshop, by the way. You're getting a sneak peek into my academy. This is the first time I've actually leaked some of my training from my academy out to you guys. But I feel like this training is so important, regardless of where you are, who you are, what you're doing. I think this could be super beneficial for you if you're in social selling. So you'll see that the way this is formatted, I'm engaging with the audience. They're working with a worksheet and they're planning their goals for 2021. So I hope you hit play. I hope you gain some action items for what you're going to do with clear direction and a freaking roadmap for 2021. Yay! I am here, guys, for our strategic goal setting workshop. You guys, coming from corporate, I am so passionate about this. So this is going to be so fun. I want this to be engaging. I want to hear from you guys in the chat box as we work along. Just as a reminder, mine doesn't look like yours because mine is something I originally made before I sent it to Jackie. But you guys have a downloadable worksheet that came to you in your inbox last night. So feel free to print it out, or if you're catching the replay, print it out for your guidance, okay? I've been doing these exercises with myself personally, with my team personally, with my previous corporate team, very similar variations for the past, decade, just with a tweak with network marketing. So I am so excited to do this. Here's the thing. Why is goal setting so important? And you guys are going to hear from me today that it's not just the goal setting, it's the strategic actions that you set in place to meet your goals. And it's the specifics of how you're going to meet those goals that are really, really important. You know, one of the things I love to say is that if all you have are written goals for next year with no strategic plan on how to achieve them, they're just dreams. Okay. I learned that personally in my first 6 to 10 months of growing my own network marketing business. I had a pin level that I wanted to achieve and I had it on a Post-it note on the mirror. And I thought seeing that every morning was going to help drive my business and motivate me. But the problem was I didn't have a formula. I didn't have the actions and metrics in place to hold myself accountable, to move myself to that goal, nor did I actually know from a volume standpoint, dollar standpoint, how many people it was going to take to actually get to that goal. So I had a dream, but I didn't actually know how to get to the dream, right? And so today what we're going to talk about is how to take your dream and manifest it into lockstep, goal-oriented, action-taking process. Okay. First and foremost, you know what I need to do is this is going to be a recording for Kajabi. So as you guys know, I have to do this funny like little wave thing with my hand when it's time for her to take the real clip. So I'm going to raise my hand for Caitlin. When she catches this later, she'll know to cut the video here so we can load it up in Kajabi. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. Growth can be uncomfortable, right? Whether you're in the gym or you're growing your business. And when you start to get uncomfortable, when it starts to get hard, okay, what we do today in this workshop, I want you to be able to fall back on, okay? And so we're going to do a little bit of mindset today. We're going to do a little bit of goal setting today. We're going to walk through the why, the what, and the how to driving your business next year, okay? Like I said before, when growth happens, it's uncomfortable. And in order to persevere and to move forward through growth, you have to have a plan and you have to understand why. Remind yourself, why am I headed towards this goal in the first place? It's like, when you're running and you're going for that extra mile and it's uncomfortable, right? It's so easy to quit unless you actually have that vision of what's on the other end. It's the same with the business, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the why you're doing this, the what you're doing to get there, and the how. How are you going to get there? Today, you're going to get clarity and you're going to get strategy. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig into the why of what lights you up. No matter how long you've been in this business, we're going to get into why in the world are you pursuing this right now? What is this going to do for you in your life, in your family, in your legacy? Because people underestimate the power of vision. Okay. Vision is not going to get you to your destination alone. You must have a plan, okay? The vision is going to help push you through the hard, but if you don't have the what and the how, you won't be able to push because you won't know what to do, okay? So that's where we're going to talk about the what. What are your audacious goals for 2021, right? The what is going to fuel the why, okay? And then the how. So not only what are your goals, but how in the world are you going to get there? And at the end of our workshop, you're going to have a game plan, you're going to have a daily ritual, and you're going to have a monthly check-in with yourself on your progress towards your 12-month goal. Does that sound cool? With that, I'm going to get my worksheet. I hope you guys get your worksheet out too. And we're going to start with my favorite part, which is the why. Okay? So we're going to get personal here, and I want you guys to get engaged with this and share in the chat box. But what I want to do in the next couple of minutes is talk about and I want you guys to go back and create some protected time to really think through this, okay? And that is, why in the world are you doing this, okay? And I don't want you to tell me money. I don't want you to tell me time freedom, okay? Because that's not why you're doing this. I want you to tell me, with that time freedom, with that income, what are you doing? What is that time freedom? What is that unlimited income? What is it going to do for your family? And this is where I get into what excites you. A lot of adults have given up on what excites them, right? What makes you happy? I want you to get really, really deep rooted. I'm going to walk you through some of this, give you some ideas, and I'm going to share with you even personally for myself, my own journey with this. What we're going to do over the next couple of minutes is I really want to work through what excites you today. What excites you with financial freedom, not even financial freedom, because this is short term. What excites you short term about having discretionary income? Okay. What excites you in the short term about that versus in a minute, we're going to talk about what excites you in 365 days. Because here's the thing. Here's the big miss that I see a lot in network marketing. We create this audacious goal. In 12 months, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be making $1 bazillion. I'm going to fire my boss, right? But what is going to help you celebrate the successes and feel like you're winning along the way, right? Because from day 1 to day 365 is a really long haul. And if you're only rewarding yourself and checking in and just enjoying the luxuries of your smaller successes along the way, you will burn out. you will burn out, right? I love that you guys have these huge, audacious goals long-term. And we're going to talk about those in just a minute. But right now, what I want you to think about for all of you is today and the next couple of months, the next 2 to 3 months, if you have short-term gains in your business, whether it's an extra $500 a month, a week, to a couple of extra $1,000 a month or a week, short-term, okay? Short-term. What excites the hell out of you that you could do with that, okay? What excites you, right? Now, it could be as little as finally paying someone else to do my laundry because I'm so tired of doing it, right? Or it could be having someone come clean your house once a week or once a month. For some of you financially, it could be paying off credit card debt, or it could be the excitement of if you have a huge month this month, that Christmas gifts are paid for cash instead of on a credit card, okay? So I want you guys to hear me when I say that I want you to think about your short-term goals right now with what excites you short-term, right? The little gains, the small gains, right? Maybe some of you would love to make a couple extra, maybe a couple thousand, a thousand or two a month to put your kids in private school right now. Let's put on the back burner being a bazillionaire. Let's put on the back burner being firing your boss. And let's just talk about short-term gains. What excites you about what this income can do for you? Okay. I want you to come back to this in a little bit. Okay. We're going to come back to this in a little bit. Share with us, share with the group, short term. I love it. Paying cash for our backyard debt. So I'll share with you guys some of my own short term goals when I first started in this business to encourage me along the way. Okay. Was yes, Melissa Adams, it was paying off college loan debt. That doesn't sound sexy to a lot of people, right? But what it meant for me was if I could take the residual monthly from my network marketing business and pay that debt off, the short-term gain was getting rid of that debt. The long-term gain was having that additional money flowing through our bank account every month because we didn't have the debt anymore. What could we do with that, right? Okay. Number 2 was house upgrades. Yes, debt-free college funding. Yes. In our house, we were building a new home when I started building this business. I wasn't sure where it was going to take me, but when the money started coming in, it was like really nice to put it towards upgrades in the home. This is not selfish. This is okay. It's the little things I want you to think about that could excite you, okay? That could excite you. Vacations, little vacations here and there, mini vacations, although those are hard. Local food banks, I love it, right? Okay. So for me, when I first got started in my first year or two, it was even finding someone to clean the house more frequently, finding someone to do some of the administrative work in my business, right? And I was able to reward myself and manifest it along the way, okay? Those little gains and rewards and celebrations are so important to move the needle, okay? Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to gather all those. There's no limit, right? I want you to continue to brainstorm that. Now, let's move into the 365 days, okay? The 365 days, okay? So we're talking end of December 2021. You guys have 12 months to get there. 12 months to run hard, 12 months of taking off and landing, right? What audacious goals do you guys have in the next 365 days? Yes, so that's actually in my wish list right now. Lynn Kemper is a personal chef. We'll talk about that in a minute. It is on my bucket list. So spa days, right? Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. In the next 365 days, again, I want you guys to be thinking about what excites you, not how much money you're going to make, not how much time you're going to have. People always say time freedom, financial freedom. Guys, that's not going to get you up at 4:00 in the morning when you don't feel like it to get work in with your network marketing business because your day job's about to come up. Like time and financial freedom doesn't give you the visceral response that exactly what excites you is going to make you get up and do. It's what excites you is going to keep you up after hours. What excites you is going to keep you from letting those obstacles and barriers stop you, right? What excited me in the 365 days or less, whenever I was really running for it, was the birth of my child, being able to walk away from corporate America. That was a 365-day goal for me, right? That upon the delivery of this child and return from work, I would be able to fire my boss and stay home. That is a visceral response, a vision that excited me, that got me up early, right? That kept me up late at night, burning the candle at both ends when I needed to, versus finding an excuse because I wasn't emotionally connected to the goal, right? So hopefully this is making sense to you guys, okay? So I'm loving it. Custom lakefront home designed, site chosen and paid. Yes, that should excite you, right? What excites you? Maybe you want more free time if you've got the time freedom because you've got the residual income. What hobbies are you into? Maybe you want to go become a certified yoga instructor. Maybe you want to retire a spouse. Maybe you want a gift without limits. Maybe you want to build a pool in your backyard, right? Guys, I want you to put all of this down on paper, okay? Short-term goals. What excites you? Little things that you're going to be able to reward yourself with when you hit those milestones. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Number 2, long-term goals, right? I'll share with you some of my long-term goals in the previous years were to leave that corporate job, right? It was to buy a house with a bigger backyard. Check. Leave the corporate job. Check, right? This past year it was to put a pool in the backyard for my kids in the midst of quarantine. Check. Why is this all being manifested? Why is it all being manifested? Because I wrote it down and I visited it every day. It fuels me to show up even when I don't feel like it, okay? Now, more support staff, right? That was on my bucket list last year to hire more people to support me, to have someone clean my house twice a week. Yeah, twice a week instead of once a week. To go have a massage once a week, be able to afford it, have the time for it. Okay. These are the things I want you guys to dream about. What's on my bucket list this year is, so we're all going big or going home, right guys? So for me, it's a mountain home. My kids love the mountains. I want to gift my family a trip for a month in Australia next summer when we're allowed to travel again, right? Experiences, guys. Do you see how I'm spending a lot of time on this, but it's so important. I want you guys to understand the value of that visceral connection to your goals. Not time freedom, not financial freedom. It's what are those going to do for you? Now, I want you to take those lists, short-term and long-term, and I want you to put them on your index card, okay? You're going to put them on a big index card as your homework assignment on the front, okay? Another one for you guys, for me, is to be completely debt. I want to own my house outright. And I want to own my car outright. I want to be completely debt-free in this house and to invest in a rental property, right? That's my next 365 days. Audacious goals, guys. Audacious goals. I can see my kids in our mountain house right now. I can see the experiences we're having. I can see going up there for long weekends and working with a beautiful view, okay? This is what's going to drive you, okay? All right, I think I've beat a dead horse on that. Now, that's the why. A lot of people skip the why. They go straight to how. I'm going to hit executive director. I'm going to hit managing director. I'm going to hit a gold star crystal executive. But why? Okay. Go roll around in the why. Understand the why. Get in your head and understand the why. Why are you doing this? Because it's the people who have the clarity and the vision. What's between your ears becomes your words become your actions become your world. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about, that's the why. I want that on your index card. Now, in your workbook or worksheet, I want us to dive down into the what and the how, okay? The what and the how are what we call SMART goals. Some of you guys have heard of this before. I'm bringing this straight in from corporate America. This is one piece of corporate that I've brought in with me. What does SMART mean? Specific is the S. Measurable is the M. Action-oriented is the A. Realistic, and we'll talk about that because I feel I have a different emotion about that these days. And then time-oriented, okay? Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. Time-bound. You need to attach a time. That's going to be big, big, big. We're going to talk about this at the end, okay? So the what is the specific and the measurable, right? The what, we need to know exactly what it is you want to achieve. We're going to talk about this in a minute. And then the how is when we get into the action. What actions are you going to take to achieve that what? Okay. So let's talk about specific goals. And obviously we're streaming to a couple different groups. You guys are in different network marketing companies. Your titles and all those things are different, but it's all relatable. So we're going to talk about it for a minute. No matter where you are and whatever company you're in, you have specific and measurable goals and growth for your business. Okay. In some companies, they're called all different types of things. Some companies track numbers of dollars in sales. Some companies, you're looking at cycles, which a profit share with the company, right? But at the end of the day, you are a business owner. You need to know, based off of your target goal income at the end of the year, how much volume of sales need to go through your business center to hit that. Now, some of you, I'm calling you guys out. Some of you have been going like this, sticking your finger up in the air and saying, I'm going to hit such and such title by next year. And you have no idea. I'm calling your bluff, tough love. You have no idea how much volume, how many people, how much product needs to move through your center to actually hit that goal, right? And if you don't know what you're shooting for, are you truly treating your business like the six-figure and multiple six-figure income earner you want to be? I'm just asking you, right? If you don't even know what that equates to, are you owning your business? Okay? It was one of the first exercises I did when I decided, when I found out I was pregnant, and I said, I have got to hit my corporate income by this day with my network marketing company without a shadow of a doubt. I have to. And then I had to ask myself and work backwards, and we're going to talk about this in a bit. What does that mean? If I hit 4-star Crystal Executive with Isagenix, how much volume needs to be going through my center to hit that? How many people need to be in my organization? What does that look like, right? Guys, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And if you're telling yourself you're not a numbers person, get to know numbers if you want to run a business, okay? And then that way you're not surprised when you crush or don't crush your goal, okay? All right, tough love there. So within the specific and the measurable, how much volume do you need to run through your business monthly to hit your pin level by the end of the year? This is going to look different for all of you, but for my example, I would say, like whenever I set my goal to hit my title with my company, I knew exactly how much volume needed to be running through my center to hit that pin level. What is that? I want to know by the end of next year, what does that look like, right? Number 2, what's the rank title that you want to be at? Right? So it's one thing to say it's one thing to say I want to be a 4-star Crystal Executive, right? That's one thing, right? But it's another to actually know what the volume is that equates to that, right? So these are two different things, the title and the actual volume, whatever business you're in, okay? And then we don't have a business without business builders. We don't have a business without consumers, right? So I want you to challenge yourself when you look at your growth trajectory with your company. How many leaders, true leaders, business owners do you need in your organization running with you before the end of next year to help hit that goal, right? Because we all know this is leveraged income. Nobody's getting to 6 and multiple 6 figures without business partners running with them, right? So what is that goal by the end of the year? How many other leaders do you want to rank up on your team? And the next one, how many consumers do you want to bring into your business to drive the volume in your business? Are you doing the work? Are you just recruiting for business? Or are you bringing in product users too, right? It depends on your business model, what that looks like for you and your compensation plan, right? Those are the 4 things I want to challenge you guys to ask yourself today where you want to be at the end of this 2021. Volume, rank, number of enrollments for business, and number of enrollments for product consumption. You guys got, is that good? You guys got that? So now remember the index card I talked about? On the front is the why, what drives you, what excites you, what lights you up. On the back side of that index card, now I want you to write those metrics down, the measurable what, okay? Now this is an exercise I've done every day consistently for years, okay? That index card, if you start your morning with it and you close your eyes with it, you start and end your day with your dreams, what drives you. It's gonna, when the alarm, your day with your index card and your vision and what excites you, when the alarm goes off the next morning, especially for those of you who are working full time and you've set the alarm for 30 minutes early so that you can get some work done on your business, you're going to be less likely to hit snooze when you finished your night dreaming about where you're headed, right? So I want you to revisit it day after day after day, front and back, front and back, front and back, right? Because what we dream about, what we think about, we talk about, what we talk about, we live, right? Okay, now let's get into the action piece. So I want you to move into the action piece. So now you know specifically the what. Now the big question is, how do you get there? How do you get there, Melissa? Yes, I want to be this particular title. I want to have this many people in my business. How do I get there? I'm just going to share with you guys the formula that has worked for me and the formula that I coach to and train to and have for the past 3 years. In my personal opinion, there are 3 key ingredients to maintaining a strong network marketing business. And I call it the 3 I's: introductions, inviting, and investing. And I'm going to break it down for you guys. But if you can spend time in your business on the daily, on the weekly, introducing yourself to grow your network, inviting people to take a look, and investing in yourself and your team to grow and develop, you have a runway to take off on, okay? Again, everybody's business is different, the specifics of it, but it doesn't matter who you are. You need to grow your network. You need to invite people to take a look, and you need to train them up and train yourself, right? Can I get an agreement on that, right?
All right. Chances are, if you're listening to my podcast today, you are a social seller of some aspect. You're in business, you're online somehow. Do you want to find more business builders in less time to 10x your business without playing the daily Instagram and Facebook game? Are you tired of being on the hunt daily for new customers of your product to then try to bait and switch them? You know what I'm talking about. To be interested in building a business with you. I have been there. The biggest mistake I see that slows down the expansion and stability of a social seller's business is if they spend way too much time recruiting on media for consumption of their company's products and way too little time in direct conversations with like-minded professionals that would love to actually hear about the business opportunity at hand. I then see so many painstakingly trying to drag customers through the sand to catch the vision of a business model that the consumer has no interest in, wasting time and getting burnt out. Can you relate? If you know my story, you know I've been there and since cracked the code and now drive a highly profitable social selling business 100% off of LinkedIn. Imagine finding with ease customers highly motivated for what services you have to offer to grow them, their business, or to become a business partner with you. That's what you will hear from my students who've gone through my previous LinkedIn method trainings. You don't have to look far. I am so excited for the birth of my brand new academy that has been built out based off of the success and the feedback of my previous students who graduated from my programs. So introducing to you the LinkedIn Method Academy. In this 6-month academy, you will learn to become a business recruiting master on LinkedIn to 10x your business, transform how you brand yourself as the business owner that you are, and master attraction marketing that results in prospects begging to get into your calendar to learn more about what you have to offer. The LinkedIn Method Academy is a first of its kind. It's an ick-free social sellers recruiting method dream.
We take away all the spammy tactics that you've been taught on Insta and Facebook. And I teach you how to position yourself as the professional business owner that you are. I teach you how to professionally build your business brand, create an ideal network and pipeline generation that creates massive momentum, and a funnel of weekly calls with viable, motivated humans who are eager to learn more about what you have to offer. It's high-touch coaching, on-demand learning vault that's uniquely customized to meet you exactly where you are on your LinkedIn journey. And we have a dynamic Facebook community with ongoing live training, performance labs and workshops, and hot seat coaching to support your 6-month journey to owning LinkedIn. You also get assigned a personal concierge who will stay with you through the entire program to support you and hold you accountable. Did I mention that there'll also be polished, top-selling social sellers who went before you and are now mentors to share best practices and give feedback in the academy? Guys, this is unprecedented and peerless. There's nothing else out there like this. Think immersion in a community that is the utmost professional and results-driven that will help raise your own bar of performance along the way. Do I have your curiosity? Come check out our free 5-day LinkedIn Method workshop streaming live on our Facebook page, Burnt Out to All Out. Starting October 19th, we'll be kicking off a 5-day workshop completely free with tips and tricks. Now, if you're just eager to get started and enroll today, you don't want to wait, go to our academy. Go to www.livethefreelife.co. www.livethefreelife.co. Enroll by October 25th and save 20% as an early bird. Now, there's limited seats. I'm doing that on purpose. I want to keep it high vibe and high touch. All right. So what are you doing in these final months of 2020 to create your trajectory for 2021? If you're looking to 10x your lead generation for business in 2021 through a step-by-step process of proven methods, condensing time and driving results, you found the right home. I hope to see you in the academy. All right. So, and you guys, again, you've got your worksheets here. So what does introduce look like? And I would love to hear from you guys in the chat section. And this is where, I'm just going to kind of give you the tip of the iceberg here. And you guys are going to have to go back and really chew on this and brainstorm it and spend some time on it. Okay. But what are you doing? What is your strategic plan in 2021? What is your strategic plan to ensure that on a weekly basis, you are growing your network? I just had this conversation with a client just the last 30 minutes ago, right? And it can be the absolute missing ingredient for people. Your content can be on point, right? You can be pouring into yourself, submerging yourself on Melissa's LinkedIn training, Eric Worre's training, Rachel Hollis's podcast. You can be developing the hell out of yourself and posting all this content. And then you could be like, I'm not getting any leads. Well, my number one question is going to be, are you growing your network, or is your content falling on deaf ears, right? We have to constantly be growing our network, no matter where you're growing it, whether you're growing it on Facebook, LinkedIn, belly to belly, although that's really hard these days, right? But what are you doing to grow your network weekly? Okay. Strategically, obviously within LinkedIn, there's ways to do that. Strategically on other platforms, there's ways to do that through networking, right? But you have to be consciously, consistently growing your network. Okay. Then comes the second I, which is invite, right? What do I mean by invite? What I mean by invite is simply how often are you putting yourself into situations where you're able to invite people to take a look? Take a look at the business. Take a look at the products. What is your strategic plan in 2021 to have a pipeline of people and an opportunity to ask them to take a look? Okay. I've told you guys this many times. Our business strategy, I know, right? I love the BF. Our business strategy for my team are opportunity overviews every single week. It's an invitation to take a look. If my team is strategically growing every single week, growing their network, then every week they should have in their script, in their word funnel, the opportunity to bring up that we're having an overview. Are they open to secondary income streams? Are they open to multiple income streams? Are they looking for diversified income? If the answer is yes, awesome. We have an overview. We would love for you to come take a look, right? Why do I bring this up? Because you have to have some type of system in place to have people take a look. A lot of you have made videos, opportunity videos, to ask people to take a look. But if you are not in the weekly asking people to take a look, how are you going to grow your business? How are people going to know you're open for business? If we're not in conversations to take a look and we don't have a system or a process in place for people to take a look, how are we going to grow our business, right? So introduce, grow your network. Invite, take a look, right? Those are like the bread and butter of the business. Number 3 in your strategic plan, number 3 needs to be the invest piece. Obviously, you guys watching this are very passionate and committed to investing in yourself because you're watching this, right? You are taking action. You are working to grow your network. You are working to grow your business, right? But here's the thing. I want to unpack this for you guys, okay? I want to unpack 2 categories. There's investing in your team, and then there's investing in yourself, okay? There's investing in your team, and there's investing in yourself. And so what I want you to think about is, I'm actually going to jump down to investing in yourself first. I think I put team first, but let's talk about you, right? So I want you, and again, this is not, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't answer this for you live stream right now, but you probably are pretty well aware. What is it as a leader and a business owner that you need to learn more about in 2021? Where do you need to grow yourself in order to be a more impactful leader, in order to be a more impactful business owner, right? If you're not good with numbers, maybe, just maybe, one of the things you need to be doing is learning your comp plan, learning to articulate it. Maybe you've started leading with the business on LinkedIn and you're loving this training, but now you're floundering because you don't know how to talk about the compensation model. You don't understand it. Maybe you need to go grab some Robert Kiyosaki books, right? I don't know. Maybe your team's starting to grow, but you have no duplication in process, meaning you don't know how to duplicate what you're doing. You've been enrolling people, but you're not actually an organized leader who's leading people, right? One of the best ways to know is to ask your team. We did this last year with my team. We'll do it again this year. I do a start, stop, continue, where I want feedback from my team on what do we need to start doing, what do we need to stop doing, and what do we need to continue doing. And I want the feedback so that we can implement it for 2021. They'll help you with your blind spots if you ask them, right? So maybe maybe you've been playing small, okay? Maybe there's some technology you need to learn to get super organized with your business. Maybe you need to learn Asana. Maybe you need to learn Slack. There's so many great technologies out there to really help you streamline your business and communicate with your team, right? Maybe you need to create an email campaign with your team, right? A way to communicate with them efficiently, effectively. Maybe you haven't even started, maybe you don't have a private Facebook group for your team yet to grow and create community, right? Like, would love to hear in the chat box, what do you guys believe that you need to work on as a leader to take the lid off and raise your lid and grow next year, okay? Obviously, again, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you guys have invested in this to grow yourself as a leader and grow your business. But I'll tell you a really, really, really great book for any of you that really opened my eyes for my own personal development as a leader is the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. 21 Laws of Leadership. So do you have a development plan for yourself for 2021? Guys, do you see those books over there? I don't know if you can see them. I have read so many books this year. It's taken my lid. I've jumped in the elevator and gone up like 12 stories because of it, right? So getting really, really clear on what you need to learn in order to raise your lid to grow as an owner, a business owner, okay? Now, the next piece is your team, right? What are you doing in 2021 to pour into the development of your team? Have you historically been a sponsor monster that's been really good at bringing people in, but then just leaving people to sink, right? Or do you have an organized process? Do you have a welcome email for brand new people that's like a checklist to get them started? Do you have an onboarding to really help them make money yesterday, right? Is your team organized, right? So are they onboarded properly? Do they have the education that they need? Do you have a process in place to support them for three-way calls, right? Would love to hear in the chat box what you guys are doing or what you're thinking. What do you think your team needs more of next year? What are you committing to help take your business to the next level? Maybe you've never done opportunity overviews because you've been scared to lead with the business or really be on screen. Guys, he who holds the pen makes the money. Eric Worre says that, right? He who holds the pen makes the money, right? Maybe you need to commit to owning that, putting together a slide deck. I remember when I first started doing it, it was scary. My armpits were sweating. My whole body was sweating. I was shaking. I was afraid I was going to say the wrong things, right? You have to. What did I say at the beginning of this? I want to remind you guys, what did I say at the beginning of this? Growth is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. This is where the rubber meets the road. What does your team need to learn? What do you need to implement to help them grow and scale? And it can be a really good, I love it. Sarah says, checklist and maybe assign accountability partners to my team. Love that. We have totally done that with my team. Accountability partners, maybe, just maybe you want to take this worksheet and go through it with them, right? Figure out what inspires them so that when the rubber meets the road and life gets hard for them, you're vision casting for them, right? You're helping them with a method of introducing and inviting and investing on a weekly basis, week by week, right? So Shelly says, just getting on lives with you through this training has empowered me to step up on my team. So I agree. Holding the pen changes everything, everything. Commit to things that scare you. And you'll always, fear never goes away. You just get used to fear and you just punch it in the face and keep going, right? You just get used to the feeling. That's it. So I'm just going to kind of tie this in a little bow in the sense that, again, everybody's businesses are different. You're all at different levels. You're all with different companies, but there's two things in Invest that are really important in 2021. What do you need to invest in yourself to raise your lid? What do you need to invest with your team to raise their lid to grow and scale, right? Maybe you need to implement some role play workshops with your own team. You guys are going to be going through the Leading with the Business role play. Maybe your team needs to practice that, and it's going to be your turn to step up as a leader and be the prospect, give them the feedback, right? Maybe that's something that you need to do. Okay, so moving on to the R, which is realistic. Okay, this is where I'm going to go off the script a little bit because in corporate, we always set realistic goals that were like stretch goals. I actually hate those words now. So hear me loud and proud because this is my own coaching business. I can say and do whatever I want, right? There's one thing I have learned in the past 3 years between growing my network marketing business and growing my LinkedIn coaching business. And that is like, screw the realistic. Screw it. Go with God-sized goals that are audacious, that are ridiculous, that would blow anyone's mind, that you need a power source to intervene to make the miracle happen. Because I can tell you from experience, when you go all in with crazy freaking goals and you come out of it and you crush them, you can look back and give God all the glory, right? Thank you. I just quit my corporate job and crushed 6 figures in a year and a half. It wasn't me. I know I'm an anomaly. I know only less than 1% of the company does this. You know who it was? God. Thank you, God. Thank you. Right? And then I'm able to proclaim it to all of you, right? Because that's what he wants. He wants the glory. Yes, I'm going to preach for a second because he is setting audacious goals and punching fear in the face and knowing that he's got my back has completely changed my life, right? Set crazy goals. Y'all, I set bananas goals this year with my LinkedIn business that only God could make happen. And he has. I give him all the glory. So what am I saying here? Doesn't have to be God. It can be your higher source. Bottom line is set goals that make you shiver. Set goals that make you sweat. Set goals that make you cry, right? That you know would change your life, because when it happens, it will change your life. And when you set those kind of goals and you know you've got the support behind you and that it's going to happen, guys, crazy things happen. Crazy things happen, okay? Okay, I told you I could way go off on this for a hot second, but the bottom line is we're already in an industry where people think the odds are against us, right? And that's a whole nother podcast for why the odds are against us, because it's really has everything to do with people's mindset when they come in and how much they put their work into it. But look, defy all odds with your effort, with your ethic, with your goals, with your strategic plan, day after day, relentlessly, with God in the back, your higher source, right? To drive your results, okay? It's possible versus impossible. Yes. So I'll say this last thing and I'll move on and I'll be off my preaching for a second. And that is, hear me out. Miracles only happen for people who believe in them. So if you're already playing small right now, if you're listening to me right now and you're yeah, good for her. That was great for her. Yeah, but that's not me. You're playing small. You don't believe in miracles. And if you don't believe in miracles, they will not happen for you. Remember what we talked about? What's between your ears? Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your life, right? So take the small-mindedness and set it aside. Take the small-mindedness, set it aside. I want you to go big, audacious goals for 2021, okay? Throw the R out of the workshop. Throw the R out of my worksheet. They don't need to be realistic. I want them to put an A there. Audacious. Freaking audacious. Okay, moving on, because we got to wrap up at 2. I've got a call at 2 o'clock. Time bound. Now this one's important. A lot of people don't do this. The time bound piece is so important. And this is where I'm really going to walk you guys through. I'm going to walk you guys through how the time bound piece changed my life, changed my business, and held me accountable. And if you hear nothing else in this workshop, listen to these last couple of minutes because they're very, 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 very important. I want you to go back to that year-end goal that you have with your business, okay? I want you to go back to your year-end goal business for 2021. And what we're going to do over the next couple of minutes and what you're going to do over the next day or two is you're going to become the business owner and you're going to step into the power you've always been destined to become, okay? You are going to take that year-end goal, and what I want you to do is we're going to break that year-end goal into digestible monthly milestones to build to that year-end goal. Guys, any of you watching who have been with me with my company, you watched me do this, okay? I tracked and publicly posted on our team leadership page every month where I was with what we call cycles with my profit sharing with the company. And if I was on target, I showed them my 12-month chart where I needed to be in cycles by the end of the year. And every month I took a screenshot and checked whether I achieved it or I didn't. Let me tell you what this does. Okay, let me tell you what this does for your business as a business owner. A couple things. Number one, it takes away the dream at the end of the year. It takes you away from just having a dream. Oh, in 12 months, this is where I want to be, right? But instead, you now have milestones. If you take that 12-month goal and divide it by 12, and you have a monthly growth, each month you have to grow 1/12 more, 1/12 more, 1/12 more, 1/12 more. At the end of each month, you can look at your business growth and sales and ask yourself, am I on target? Okay? This is critical because there's going to be months where your business blows up. Like those of you in the wine business are crushing it right now. The reverse for health and wellness. Everybody's numbers are probably in the dumps because nobody wants to watch what they're eating. What will happen in January? Nutrition and wellness will skyrocket. Wine sales will go down because everybody's trying to clean up their eating, right? So there's going to be months where your numbers overshoot, and there's going to be not months where they undershoot. But the key is that you're tracking your progress, right? So that at the end of each month, you're like, I crushed it, okay? Go back to the little things that excite you and reward yourself. You crushed it. What are you going to celebrate this month because you hit that milestone? Is it to hire someone to come get the laundry done? Is it to go get a massage? It can be very little, but it needs to be celebrated. Positive reinforcement. Little nibbles of what this lifestyle is going to bring you by rewarding yourself along the way. Hope you guys are hearing me on that. B is, oh shit, I missed it. I didn't hit my sales numbers this month. Guess what that is, guys? Tough love, it is a reality check. I'm not on target. I need to get my act together. What do I need to do differently? What didn't work this month? What did work? This month I crushed it. What was different? Last month I didn't crush it. What do I need? This is what business owners do. You track and you target and you forecast so that by 6 months in, you're like, I am on target. Things are working the way they're supposed to, right? Or I'm not on target. What do I need to reassess about my time? What do I need to delegate? What do I need to do, right? Guys, if you create milestones along the way, you have a finger on the pulse of your business all year long. And what I want to circle back to is those little things that excite you, those little milestones, those little things are so important to reward yourself with throughout that year when you hit those milestones. So maybe in the worksheet, but I would love to see you guys do it again. Your worksheet looks a little bit different than mine. Is write down at the end of each month what your little reward is going to be if you hit that number. And I would love to hear in the chat some ideas about little rewards, right? So maybe you hit your growth number for the end of January. What are you going to do to celebrate? Maybe you take your spouse out for cocktails. Maybe you treat yourself to a massage. Maybe you buy yourself that fancy, really expensive pair of running shoes. I don't know. I don't know what excites you, but you know what excites you. And the key is to reward yourself. Reward yourself. Now, so what I would suggest, and guys, this is going to take you time. People want to fly by the seat of their pants. They want to treat this business like a hobby, and then they get hobby pay. That's not you guys because you're here. You're investing, you're engaged, and you're watching this. So I want you to go to the finish line and cross the finish line of this business planning by meticulously start with December of next year, the end of next year. Put your year-end goals that we already talked about up here with your volume for your sales, the rank you want to hit. And then I want you to take those numbers and I want you to divide them by 12. Okay. If you're an overachiever like me, I actually made it so that I tried to heavy push the first 6 months so that I gave myself wiggle room towards the end. So let's say you want to hit a certain sales number. Maybe you give a little cushion by giving yourself slightly larger targets each month so that you have wiggle room on low months versus high months. But at a minimum, divide by 12. Hopefully that's making sense. Divide by 12 and put in most of your companies at certain volume growths, it's going to equate to a certain leadership title too. So you can actually map out where next year, based off of monthly growth, you should be hitting your pin levels. So maybe in certain months, you hit a big pin level. And maybe that's a bigger what excites you gift to yourself, right? Because you know what the income is for that. You know what you can celebrate there and you can work towards it. And then I want you to take the paper and I want you to tape it in front of your computer. Guys, this is what I do. And you track it. It's right in front of your face. It's right in front of your face. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hopefully this has been helpful. So here's the deal. If you sit down after this over the next week to 2 to 3 weeks before the end of the year, this is why I wanted to do this workshop before the end of the year, and you get crystal clear on why you're doing this and putting on an index card, short-term, long-term. And then on the back, I want very specifics, what you're trying to achieve by year end, and visit it every day. Little index card. Visit it every day when you wake up, every day when you go to bed. Okay. Start your morning with that vision. Go to bed with that dream. And it's amazing what you'll overcome in your day to make it happen. You will go through a brick wall if you can stay clear on not time freedom, not financial freedom, but what excites you. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Okay. Now, just to recap, you've got your game plan, guys. You're going to have to do the work and do the numbers. I would love some screenshots of the numbers you've worked through. Guys, and it's going to give you cold sweats to own it with us. It's going to give you cold sweats to post it in the group page, what your year-long plan is, and check in with us every month. Hold yourself accountable. We are your accountability buddies. If there's one thing I said when we launched this academy, was that it's lonely being the entrepreneur, being the business owner, because no one is there to hold you accountable. Consider me helping you hold yourself accountable. Show us your metrics. Show us your goals. Celebrate with us when you hit them. Celebrate. Be vulnerable and let us know when you don't hit it so we can help brainstorm with you what's working and how we can help you and Sherpa you and move you along, okay? You've got a game plan. You've got a daily ritual. You've got a monthly check-in on the progress of your business, guys. That vision is what's going to drive you forward. That vision of what excites you is what's going to keep you moving, and now you have your game plan. So I hope you guys are ready for 2021. You're doing all the hard work. You're doing the hard work. You guys are showing up. You're going to build your plan. I can't wait to see what you put together. I hope you appreciated this workshop, and I will see you guys on the back end. Actually, we've got some coaching here in just a couple minutes with some of the smaller groups. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. For free resources, materials, or information on my coaching services, go ahead over to livethefreelife.co. That's livethefreelife.co, or check out our Facebook community at Burnout to All Out, and make sure you follow Burnout to All Out on Spotify and subscribe to iTunes. And it would truly mean the world to me if you paused for just a second, gave me that 5-star review of the show, and be sure to share this episode with any burnouts you think would be inspired to go all out after hearing this episode.